Rudy, how cool is it to be honored as one of the Rockets legends tonight?
What's a bigger word than very, very? It's very awesome. Always good to come back. For many reasons. But one of them, since you guys are here, I want to do this. When you get into the Hall of Fame, I'm not big on those kind of events, but the way I made it work for me was that it gives you an opportunity to thank the people who have helped you in your career. And that's how I approached it. I was very excited about it. And I worked hard on giving people my thanks and gratitude. However, I screwed up in a big way and I left. And I just thought of this 2 days ago. I left two very valuable people off that list. And those people were Ray Melchiori and Keith Jones, the trainers of the teams when I was here. And they're so important, not only for the health of your team physically, but also for the mental health that those guys are out there physically touching the players and very important to the team. So I don't know how that didn't happen because I had them on my original speech, but so much stuff is going on. And then they have a teleprompter and I wasn't reading the teleprompter. So somehow I didn't even know it until 2 days ago. I went back and watched the speech and they were not in it.
How much becoming the Naismith Memorial Hall of Famer, how much did it change your life, or has it?
It hasn't changed my life much that I can. Well, I won't have those coaches sticking up for me every year, which I sort of liked. That was kind of cool.
When, over the years, especially coaches would point out that your banner didn't say those words on the bottom. How does it feel to look up there on your banner and see Hall of Fame?
That's going to be awesome. It's, I'm not real comfortable with this stuff, but if you could share it with other people, I like it, and, I didn't get into the game for that kind of stuff. It's sort of a personal playing the game, doing your job. It's just that feeling of accomplishment that you did something well. For them, for other people to put at what level it is great. And when they put you at the top, you're living good. That's the cake, the icing, and the cherry on top.
Coach, what is one of your greatest memories of coaching the Houston Rockets?
There's so many, and some of them would be surprising to people. To see a player have the light bulb go on, and you see that development, that something they were struggling with all of a sudden becomes a part of their game, and they worked at it. That's a very rewarding thing. But of course, the championships, the awesome people that I got to coach, and I will tell you one that actually almost paralyzed me. Carol Dawson, when Akeem Olajuwon was going into the Hall of Fame, Carol called me and he says, "Rudy, here's the number. Write it down quick. Call immediately. Dream is getting ready to go on stage and be in the Hall of Fame." And, at the end of his career here, he had gotten traded. I don't know how he felt and things like that. So I was apprehensive, but I had to do it and congratulate him. And he was so joyous, and he made me feel a part of that award. And I remember sitting there. It was almost a half an hour. I couldn't get up. I was just so thrilled and felt that love and connection. And that's what I tried to do with the people that I thanked. That was a private one that a lot of people don't know about, but it was a big one. because I didn't want Akeem having hard feelings when I had so many good feelings about him.
Rudy, when you hear people still talk about that phrase you made, never underestimate competition, how do you feel about that? That it's held up over decades?
So you want to know the truth about it? Yeah. It wasn't one of my greater moments, if you understand what I mean. It was sort of bragging after the fact, which is not me. But I thought it was rare that we made a trade, and before the season was over, there were people around the league that were critical. And it's very hard to evaluate a trade the year that you make it. You have to wait a while, that all of a sudden, they screwed up. They traded a big for a small. I wouldn't call Clyde small in any way. He's big for his position, and he dominated his position. So that's what sort of prompted it. I found the words "heart of a champion." I got those from Kevin Johnson. He said that about the Rockets. He said, very hard to beat them. They have the heart of a champion because we had won the year before. Now, Charles used a different analogy. He said, they're like those big old Texas roaches. You step on them and you hear the crunch. You think they're going to die, and they're still alive. So I chose the heart of a champion instead of the toughness of a roach.
Is there one burning memory from the 1994 finals beating Pat Riley and the Knicks, something that stands out to you about that series?
Well, that I respected him and his team greatly. When I was doing my assistant coaching, I loved doing the Lakers. I loved how he numbered his plays and how he had different sets and, different responses. When the ball went here, they read it and they did different things. I thought it was cool. And then the team, man, what a team they had. What a physical team when the rules were in their favor. I mean, that was a battle. And if there was a team that I'd say I least wanted to face, it would be the New York Knicks because of all the physical guys they had. And they could tag team and use their fouls on Akeem. And, we worked really hard on finding a way to not have him be completely exhausted at the end of that series. And it worked, but if we would have gone straight into the teeth of the defense, they had too many people. And, the games were, when I talked to Pat, he said, by far the closest playoff series he had been involved in is always in the last 2 minutes. It still wasn't decided.